This is the iPhone 6 review in 2020. Let's see if it is worth it. The design is pretty good with its curved body and a uniform design. Even though it isn't the most durable looks wise, it is pretty good, except the antenna lines are oddly positioned on the back. Mine is a little dented, but it's okay. It might not have the new stainless steel and glass design of the new iPhones, but it's okay for today's standards. Now let's move on to the displays. It has an okay display. It's an IPS panel with good color production. It has a 750p screen. It's not a deal breaker, but it's not going to compete with something like the new iPhones like the iPhone 10. And it's an okay display. Means you can just use it in your day-to-day life and you won't notice anything. But if you were like going to be playing with like expecting 4K display and stuff like that, you won't get that. Now let's move on to the performance. It performs decently with all the apps that you use, but it actually gets sluggish all the time. You can see dropped frames all the time in the UI, and as you can see the scores aren't that great in the Geekbench. It's okay, but the biggest deal breaker is that it has only 1 GB of RAM with the A8 chip. Even though the A8 chip is still okay, it still only has 1 GB of RAM. Now let's move on to the Touch ID. It has a fingerprint sensor. The Touch ID is pretty good, but mine is not working for some reason. I do not know, it's busted when I bought it. So yeah, it's a pretty good add-on feature that you get with it. So you get features like Touch ID, which I don't think so most phones at this price point support. So yeah, you got it. Now let's move on to the cameras. It has an 8 MP back-facing camera and a 1.2 MP front-facing camera, which is a poop for my sake. I will buy it. You can see the photos it takes aren't that great, but it's still okay if you were like not taking any photos for professional level. I will buy. If you can stay with these kinds of photos, it is fine. But I would say that at least get an iPhone 6s. It has a 12 MP camera on the front, on the back, and a 5 MP camera on the front, so it at least takes a decent shot. So yeah, but it's okay for day-to-day uses. So in the end, I would like to conclude that the iPhone 6 is not worth it in 2020. If you have it, you should upgrade it because it isn't that great. It's not even getting any more iOS upgrades. So yeah, you should at least get an iPhone 6s or S7 because those are much better devices than these.